All the excitement around this team has our city packed for today's game. Our Brandon Schaff is out at Lucas Oil Stadium, where fans have been celebrating all day. Brandon, what do fans have to say about the team's success this season?
Yeah, good evening, Allison. Right outside Lucas Oil Stadium as the Colts are taking on the Titans in this Week 8 matchup. And take a look at this familiar sight right here, the Peyton Manning statue. Well, the Colts are starting to play in those winning ways that we saw when Peyton Manning was at the helm of this team back in the day. And there is a lot for these Colts fans to be excited about this season. The Colts brought the NFL's best record into Week 8 at 6-1. Heavy favorites against the Titans here. At least 1,000 fans on South Street in Touchdown Town, where we were a little while ago, getting ready for the game with live music, food, drinks, and plenty of activities. And I spoke with a couple who told me that they're excited to see this team really coming together, living up to their potential, and talked about the atmosphere at these home games.
So electric, everyone's super excited, like energy is up, like I guess as Pat McAfee would say, it's the loud house, so we are just having fun.
We've been season ticket holders since 2019. We're excited to see Jonathan Taylor just rush for 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. We're excited for a big game from him. We'll see what happens.
And there is a lot for these fans to continue being excited about. Obviously, you saw that or heard him talk about Jonathan Taylor. That is the NFL's rushing leader right now in rushing yards, and he already has a touchdown in this game. So, certainly looking forward to what happens over the course of the rest of this one, and we'll have the fans' reaction when they leave the stadium here after the game. We'll have that for you tonight at 11 o'clock. Reporting here outside Lucas Oil Stadium, Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
All right, very exciting, Brandon. Thanks for heading there today. Now, Rob, we have some great weather today, really.
Yeah, it was great outside. Temperatures warmed up exactly to where we expected them to be, into the low to mid 60s. We've got 60 currently, but over the last couple of hours, you may have noticed a few more of the clouds moving in. There is a system to our south and west. You can see the cooler temperatures, but it's also where rain is falling right now. Now, here's the thing. It's going to bring us some clouds, and we'll keep clouds in place overnight, but I think most of the moisture with this will dry up before it arrives, although in the southern part of the state couldn't rule out the possibility of an isolated shower. But really for this evening and overnight, expecting more clouds than anything else, and that should also keep the temperatures a bit on the milder side, not dipping into the 30s as much, with mostly cloudy skies and highs into the low 40s. Looking ahead to tomorrow, it's going to be another day similar to what we saw today. There may be some peaks of sunshine through the middle part of the day, helping to warm the temperatures back up in those low to mid 60s, but probably a few more clouds during the afternoon than what we saw today. We got a bit of sunshine today. Tomorrow, not quite as much. The rain will arrive sometime late in the day on Monday. That's when we're expecting that next system to arrive, and once it does arrive, it's likely going to stay with us for several more days. So enjoy another day in the 60s, because after that, the temperatures go down, the clouds roll in, and the rain stays with us for a few days. Big question, will the rain move out by Halloween? I'll answer that question coming up.
Well, a year ago today, this devastating fire broke out at the Helping Veterans and Families building downtown on Pennsylvania Street. It left many of those who served our country with nothing. But as our Marina Silva reports, HVAF has spent the last year rebuilding, so those veterans have somewhere to turn.
Almost hungry. Please help. Anything helps. Thank you.
This was once a cardboard sign Dean Cooksey would use while experiencing homelessness.
Now I just use it to put my cell phone on to watch TV at night.
Just 6 months ago, Dean Cooksey was living in a tent on the south side of the city.
Don't have to worry about this getting blown over by the wind.
He was going through a hard time after losing his wife to a terminal illness.
Should be going, you're better than that. I shouldn't have let everything snowball into the effect that it was.
Today, he's living in the newly built Manchester apartments.
It's a great, great opportunity. You can't go wrong.
This was the scene at those apartments a year ago. Firefighters battling flames coming from the roof. dozens of veterans watching their home get destroyed.
I was driving on the interstate and I could see coming through downtown on I-65 the smoke rising in the air. And
As soon as CEO Emmy Hildebrand found out, she rushed to the building.
then it really hit me that this is not a stove fire or, burnt jalapeno poppers in the oven, that it was going to be a big deal.
The Manchester apartments are temporary housing for veterans experiencing homelessness. HVAF gives them resources to help transition into permanent housing. Today, all of the veterans who were living at the Manchester apartments when the fire happened now have permanent homes. An entirely new group has already moved in.
We opened the north tower of the building, which is 23 units, in July. It's full. So what that means practically is that there are 23 veterans who have ended their homelessness here at HVAF at Manchester Apartments.
The organization is still rebuilding. They plan to add 14 more units while also expanding their food and clothing pantry.
So any improvements or additions we've made are thanks to the community donations.
1 year later, from the ashes of loss, the HVAF says it stands taller, not just rebuilt, but renewed.
My home for now.
In Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
Ahead at 6:15, from candy to costumes, Halloween can rack up a high price tag. Our Ella Rhodes will take you inside a couple stores to try and make spending a little less spooky. And a former NFL player has passed away. The plea he made to fans just weeks before his death.